Absolutely. So Big P's out there with the green flag. They're kind of tiptoeing through the racetrack right now. Here comes, looks like Dallas Daniels out in front on the 32 Estenson Racing Yamaha Racing entry. There is Meese, Mr. Texas Flat Track. We'll call him the one. There's the 92 Brandon Price right there in the yellow and black Memphis Shades leathers.
Now, I love what we're seeing out there, Scotty. They are all over this track. Dallas with a higher line. And as we're going to take a look at this replay from Jared Meese on the FloRacing replay cam. Right here, Jared Meese. Scotty, walk me through this.
Gets it a little bit sideways there, and that's how you can see the track is inconsistent. So when it goes from wet until dry, into dry, the back end will step out because he was expecting it to be tacky. When he grabbed a handful, the back end stepped out. It almost came around on him, but he's such a good rider. He just kind of lets off the throttle slowly and pulls away from that spot. Now he's already up to full speed.
Scotty, I don't know if this was the rodeo we were expecting to see in Texas, but we are certainly watching a rodeo race, and I'm sure Jared Meese feels like it. But he was able to hang on. Dallas Daniels setting fast lap right now. Briar Bauman in second, one of those riders we talked about earlier in the show who really capitalized on that time off to do the R&D and do the necessary testing to get this bike where it needs to be. And by the way, in 2020, at a different track, Briar Bauman swept the weekend, swept the doubleheader. We'll see if he can get back to his winning ways of 2020 that sent him on to win a championship that season.
Briar is very strong on these clay half miles as well, as he's kind of slid up the racetrack a little bit. There's young Davis Fisher. He's also a half mile, a very good half mile rider, the 67, currently 6th fastest so far. This is again practice. Brandon Price moves up to 3rd with a 22.111. Fastest lap so far is Daniels with a 21.877.
And what I do like, these riders are not pulling off the track. They haven't waved anyone down yet. The track is good enough to race on at this point. That's what we're seeing. Because usually if the track isn't to their preference, they're pulling up. They're, you know.
Well, just like at Sonoy on the Saturday night when we were supposed to run, they made maybe just a lap or two and they pulled off, put their hands up, and they said, no, we can't race on that. So it's not happening right here today. You can see it's a little bit bumpy right there going into 3, which is kind of some braking bumps.
Watching Trevor Bruner on the 21 bike as he makes his way around the front stretch here at the Texas half mile. Trevor Bruner working with Michelle DeSalvo this year, and she told me at the last race at Sonoy that it's just so nice to work with a rider who has such good feedback for them, and as they're continuing to develop this team and that bike, really exciting to see what Trevor Bruner can do in his rookie season.
Yeah, Dave Zanotti has built those chassis just specifically for the 21 Trevor Bruner. It's his first time out, and first season out, he's leading the points in the Rookie of the Year standings on that that KTM motorcycle. That is, of course, we're talking about the number 21 Trevor Bruner right now, currently 11th out of the 11 bikes that went out there. So maybe just taking his time, getting up to pace. And Group 2 is rolling onto the racetrack right now. Maxwell will lead him out on the Harley Davidson, the only Harley in the field this weekend. Max is from Australia on the 18. Ben Lau's on the 25. That's a KTM. 36 Kobe Carlisle on the G&G Racing Yamaha. 70 Declan Bender. He was last year's singles rookie of the year. 37 is Bronson Bauman. 107 Wyatt Vaughn. 166 is the Freight Train Logan McGrain. 99 Kevin Stallings on the Kawasaki. Morgan Mishra on the other Honda. The 47 Michael Hill and the 56 Jordan Jean also on the Kawasaki out here today. This is Group 2.
Now, Scotty, what do you make of where they're running out on track, as we just saw Maxwell kind of lose the back end there?
Well, they're going to go out there and try to find the smoothest part of the racetrack, and also looks like where it's packed in the most. You can see they're barely putting that left foot down. You can see Max coming off the turn down low, drifting up the racetrack, going in a little bit lower than the first group was right now. Now just kind of searching around. It's the first time out there for him on a twin. Riders down right there. That's Ben Lau going down in turn 3 and 4. That's the Holly Hot Rod number 25 has touched the ground. We stay racing till we see a red or a checkered, so they'll just possibly throw out a local caution over there, the yellow flag, and we keep on going. So there's Maxwell, and he's one of the bigger riders out there, which could be an advantage on a racetrack that will want you to maneuver on that motorcycle a little bit more.
But potentially a disadvantage with the high winds that we're facing here.
Very true.
Because, again, like we said, on that front stretch, they will be combating the wind. On the back stretch, they will be pushed by it. But, again, high wind advisory here at the Texas Motor Speedway.
I think it's blowing at least 40 miles per hour out there. Right. It is crazy. I hope you got plenty of hairspray on.
They feel that on the bike. Correct?
Absolutely. You will feel it, especially going down the back straightaway, going into 3. You see right there, Max, way up the racetrack. Looked like the rider right behind Max got a little bit sideways right there coming off of 4. So got a little bit sideways right there coming off behind Max.
Now, Scotty, what we're seeing right here with Maxwell on the 18, again, a rookie in the Super Twins class, a lot of movement on the bike. Setup-wise, what are these riders looking for on a track that's presenting so much variation in the terrain?
Well, right now you're trying to miss the bumps. You know, there's a few bumps just because the road crew, the big trucks that were out there kind of made some bumps in the racetrack, so you try to avoid those, but you also want to get that traction not only to the front wheel when you stick it in the corner, but you want it on that rear tire, so when you come off the corner you get a good drive. And you can see the 18's kind of bouncing around a little bit right now, so you know it's his first time out on this racetrack on the Harley-Davidson XG 750.
He is, however, looking good out there.
Fourth.
For what he has been presented with. A big session for Maxwell. He should feel confident pulling off the track right now in the top 5 first practice.
Colby Carlisle stopped over there to talk to Brian Smith right there. Colby Carlisle, the 36. That bike has actually won here before with Corey Texter in the production twins class. And now Colby Carlisle is out here in the Mission Super Twins and his 13th quick so far on his Yamaha.
Of Colby Carlisle on the 36. Check that FloRacing replay. What was going on out there to make him stop and chat with Brian Smith?
He's the second bike right here. I caught a glimpse of this out of the corner of my eye, so he's up there in a little bit looser stuff. Oh, that was Ben Lau early on, and that's when his back tire came around on. And that's about the same spot where Mies got really crossed up in session number 1.
Correct. I wonder if it's just extra slick up there. Maybe they're hitting the marbles. We talked about that potentially being a factor, and you can kind of see the surface just
well, Kristen, it will be a little bit drier higher up the racetrack because the moisture will run down the racetrack when Mother Nature waters the track or the water track, either one. But so it dries out quicker up higher. So maybe he got a little bit too high. Maybe it's a little bit slip, looser stuff up there up on the high side. So looks like on our sheet, looks like we're going to have the Royal. Actually, the singles are supposed to be. No, we got Royal Enfield's coming up next. The Build Train Race program will come onto the racetrack next. The ladies, looks like there are 9 of the ladies, and here they come rolling onto the racetrack. These ladies build their bikes and make them look however they want to. So this is, some of these riders have never raced a half mile before, so they'll be kind of tiptoeing just a little bit. And then some of the other riders are going to go out here and go full bore right off the bat. So there's Kinsey Luker out in front. She has 1 win so far this season. And
Kinsey Luker of a racing family, Andrew Luker's wife.
Yeah.
So a racing family being able to now support Kenzie. I know at the Victory Lane podium, she has very confidently talks about the overwhelming support that she has from her family, and it's so cool to see these girls and some of the raw emotion. But the Build Train Race program has really been such an eye-opening program for so many women, because not only are these girls able to build these bikes, learn how to work on them, they train to race, and they go out here and they race on the same track that our pros are racing on, and all these women in their own right. So impressive, so inspiring to kind of follow Scott.
And just think about how cool it is to come out here at Texas Motor Speedway. If you thought as a young girl growing up that you would get to race anything at Texas Motor Speedway, how exciting would that be, especially if you got into racing at a young age? Now you're out here on the half mile. You're on the world stage in front of people watching on FloRacing right now.
Right, and to be able to have Royal Enfield support in that program is so huge. It is really cool what they've done. So after the racing is over, if anyone has a chance to walk out there and kind of meet these young women, they love talking about racing. And what
Kinsey got pretty sideways right in that same spot. Actually, that was that was between 3 and 4. So it's a little bit of a drastic change in the dirt, possibly, or the moisture that's on the racetrack. She got a little bit sideways, kind of spooked her just a little bit. That's Kinsey Luker on the 17, and she's got 1 win so far. And the 11, the Canadian rider, also has 1 win so far this season. They've only ran 2 rounds. Oh, there went something off the bike. Maybe her fork tube protector maybe flew off the motorcycle. A piece of something came off. Yeah, it is her left fork tube cover. Nope. Yes, I don't know. It's hard to tell from that spot right there. You go. It was the left fork. There it is.
There it is.
I got something right.
You got that right. You got a technical question right.
Thanks,
so proud of you,
Pete.
Scotty.
I appreciate it.
I'm proud of you. But yeah, I mean, when something like that happens, it has to be distracting, right?
Oh, definitely. It flew right in front of you, and she possibly didn't know what it was or where it came from, so she probably didn't see anything that was on the racetrack. But as fast as she looks out front.
Little FloRacing replay here. Kinsey Luker.
This is when it gets sideways right about there. Oh, she lost the front end first that time. So usually, like on Mies and we saw on Ben Lau, the back end came around. That time the front end kind of washed out just a little bit. So she still has the quickest lap, 2:5.794. Shasta LaRue, the young female rider from the Denver, Colorado area, is up there second, 2:6.006. And Taya Little from up there in Welland, Ontario, Canada, is currently third.
And they will take the checkered flag this time by for their final lap of first practice, head back to the paddock, make some changes, talk to their team. And next up, we'll be looking at the singles, the AFT singles class. And that is a stacked class this season, Scotty.
Yeah, it definitely is. We have, it looks like 26 riders, or 26 riders made it into the entry list. Only 25 went through tech inspection. So it looks like the checkered flag went out, and they kind of went a little extra cool down lap. They probably didn't realize you're supposed to exit turn number 2.
That's called the bonus lap.
You got a little bonus one more lap around. So singles, we split up into 3 different groups, Kristen. They looks like there'll be 9 in group number 1, 8 in group 2, and 8 in group number 3.
And in group 1, stacked as I mentioned, Dalton Gauthier on the 79, though. So exciting. I spoke with him today. You know, at the beginning of the year, he wasn't sure how many races they would have the funding to commit to. He told me today that it looks like they will be entering in all of the races, plus or minus a few of the miles, in which he's trying to score a twins ride on.
Right on.
This has been a really productive season for Dalton Gauthier and Robbie Bobby on that small little team that could. And as we watch the bikes head on to track here, it will be interesting to see what Dalton Gauthier can do on another car track, on another half mile, but he's going to have to find his way around Cody Kopp if he wants to take the win here.
And for the new fans that may be here for the first time from coming over from the Good Guys Car Show, or from the new fans watching on FloRacing, singles mean single-cylinder motorcycles.
Right.
These bikes start their lives out as 450 motocross bikes. They lower them down, put some different wheels, and of course they run the specific Dunlop flat track racing tires on them. And you can see Cody Kopp does have his hand guards on right now, Kristen. So we were talking about it. We weren't sure if anybody had those with Cody Kopp. He was listening.
Cody Kopp was absolutely listening, Scotty. But something to note, even though they're on what we call a single bike, a 450, they're doing close to the same lap times as we're seeing from the twins. So what do you make of that, Scotty?
It's because they're a lot lighter weight. They're easier to get turned. They're easier to slow down. And another rider down in turn number 4 just caught out of the corner of my eye right there. So
let's see if we can get a FloRacing replay on that, Scotty, so we can break that down. Red flags are out as riders look to the exit of track over in turn 2. Let's try to get an idea of who might be down.
There's one of the riders running up near the front of the pack, and they're moving around right now in turn number 4. I expected the crashes to happen in turn 3. Right now, everybody's having trouble with the transition from 4 all the way onto that front straightaway. So we do have a medical doctor that travels the circuit with us all year long, and they'll make their way to the racetrack. I believe that might be Pettin on the 82.
We are waiting for confirmation on which rider that was. However, Scotty, you mentioned the transitions, the turns being complicated for the riders this weekend. Part of that due to the wind advisory that we have been facing all weekend long here at Texas Motor Speedway. Yeah. It was the 82.
He's up and on his feet, race fans. Make some noise for him.
Travis Pettin up on his feet.
There you go. There is our medical doctor that goes to all the races, checking him out. He's familiar with all the riders, so he knows their tendencies, knows how they should normally speak to him. So it's awesome. He's double checking right now, make sure he's okay. They do have an airbag suit now, again, for you new fans. A big sudden change of movement on the bike, or when they get off the motorcycle, that airbag suit inflates. And so that has happened right now.
And Scotty,
he's walking the line, showing him that he's okay. Check him out. It's like when you get a DUI right there, you get pulled over for a little too much drinking right there. You got to walk a straight line.
Well, I can't add anything to that.
I've never done that before. I'm just saying.
I've never done that before. I've never been on that side of the law, so I have nothing to add.
You're pleading the fifth?
I'm pleading the fifth. However, it is good to see Travis Pettin up and alert, able to walk away on his own accord. Now, Scotty, one thing that Jared Mees told me earlier in the day that I found interesting, he said that because of the change in the wind direction when you're going through 3 and 4, of course, we talk about the high wind advisory here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's pushing you on the back stretch, pulling you on the front stretch. What has happened with a lot of the riders in those transitions is you kind of meet the wind at one point when you turn, and it can upset the bike even if the wind is that strong. So I have a feeling those transitions this weekend tonight will be tough for the riders to maybe interpret and manage, especially on these lighter bikes on the singles.
Yeah, definitely. The back end will step out a little bit easier than it will on a twin. I mean, the twin, the back end will step out with the horsepower. The singles, maybe because it's bouncing a little bit. I saw it looked like he kind of bounced a couple times, then the back end just snapped around a quick a quick, or the back end just came around to the front real quick. And it's happened so far. The exciting spot, where all the action seems to be right now is from the exit of turn 3 into turn 4 and onto the front straightaway. So I was expecting more of going into turn number 3 with the wind pushing him down the back straightaway. But right now it seems like the transition, from 3 into 4 is catching the riders off guard a little bit. And it's early on. We are in our first round of practice out here at Texas Motor Speedway.
And after this first round, I'm going to head down to the paddock and go check in with some of the riders to see how this track is really breaking down, because it's their first time out on track on this track now that the dirt has been resurfaced. They've, as Scotty, as you mentioned earlier in the show, this is a new compound. And we're just kind of seeing how, with the elements and with the consistency and the track prep that it's undergone, how this track will continue to break down for these riders. But let's go ahead and try to get a shot of the riders' trackside if we can, TV team. I would love to kind of see what these guys are doing and how they're reacting to that first round of practice. Just from the side here, I can see Tom Drain and Tommy Hayden discussing the track, along with Nick Daniels, who is an amazing rider coach. Whenever I have questions about the bike or bike setup, I go straight to Nick Daniels, who has always been a wealth of knowledge when it comes to that.
So Nick is in the pit area. He actually helps the singles rider and lets Dallas do his own thing with his own mechanics over there. Kind of separate them a little bit, but still in the same pit area. So it works out pretty good.
Imagine having Nick Daniels and Tommy Hayden in your corner.
Right? That'd be awesome to have.
We're going to be, we're getting a shot now of them swapping out Travis Pettin's face shield before he heads back out. Scotty, why would they need to do that?
It actually came off of his shield when he crashed. That shield actually came off of the motor, off of his helmet. So sometimes you don't have a helmet sitting there ready to go. Sometimes you can just pop on a different shield and go right back to it. Looks like Brian Smith's over there talking to him, just again reassuring him that he is okay and is good to go right back out there. It looks like they are bringing a whole nother helmet to him right now. Here comes that's his dad going to come on over there and put a new lid on and go right back to it. So again, this is our first round of practice. The quickest time so far, Cody Kopp, and we only had we don't have a full lap completed. So that's just their warm-up lap. So there's a good look at Pettin right there. Good zooming in right there. Putting his new lid on.
Let's go ahead and get a look at those track conditions. As we've seen, turn 4 has presented a curveball to some of these riders here tonight. Let's get a closer look at what's going on
There's
here.
Meese.
Jared Meese in turn 4.
That looked like it went from wet to dry, and then it looks like Ben Lau is about the same spot, and that thing just stepped out all the way on him. And here is Fisher on the 67.
And it looks like he's losing rear tire traction there as well.
And that was closer to 3, and then here comes in the Royal Enfield. So that was the front end pushing. That's because those bikes weigh so much more, have so much push.
And here's Travis Pettin also in turn 4. Scotty, I know what my assignment is as soon as we get out of here.
Turn 4.
Turn 4. Headed to turn 4. Let's
What's going on in turn 4?
What is going on in turn 4?
Bikes are back on the track. AFT singles out here to complete their first round of practice. That's the youngster right there, the bomber, Tom Drain from Australia.
And he's used to these rough style of tracks. When I've talked to, whether it be Maxwell or Tom Drain, any of the Aussie boys, the way we prep our tracks out here are, according to them, so much better than the kind of tracks they're used to having to race on in Australia. So maybe this will fall right into Tom Drain's wheelhouse, considering how good he is with these technical style tracks.
Well, and to be technical, look at that bike just had
dancing around,
struggling right there just a little bit too. But again, to be technical, you have to be smoother with that throttle, getting on the gas smoother, maybe dragging the brake through 3 and 4 a little bit, maybe.
Scotty, usually when we talk about these practices, the first practice is the group that's breaking in the track, but it looks like the track is deteriorating as the practices continue, so maybe the track is getting worse?
Possibly right now, and they're still trying to find the best way around the racetrack. As now Tom Drain goes to the top spot. Cody Kopp, I don't know that he might not have went back out there. So Tom Drain at 21.968. Maybe Cody Kopp. Now there he goes up to 4th. Yeah, so they're really fighting the machine coming off at turn number 4, especially right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on turn 4. Exactly. I was expecting it to be turn 3, not turn 4. Sadoff moves up to 2nd, 22.222. Maybe his new favorite number.
Yeah, as we look to the leaderboard, Tom Drain, though, top of the boards here at the half mile. He's so dominant when it comes to this size track. But this track is absolutely brutal, Scott.
Yeah, they're struggling right now. It's not smooth. They call it flat track. It looks flat on TV until you see these tires and wheels and
bouncing around.
You know, the guys almost bouncing out of their seats too. So they're going to fight this racetrack all night long, and that's part of it. You have to race against each other, but tonight you're going to have to race against this racetrack.
I think so too, Scotty. Just a real rodeo out there with a few Broncos that I'm not sure these riders were anticipating having to ride here in Texas.
Fort Worth, just down the road a little bit. That's where they do the
They might
bull
have
ride.
to go enter PBR after this, because I'm pretty
go.
impressed with how they've been able to hang on. But I'm going to bounce out of here, Scotty, and I'm going to go down and see what's going on in Turn 4 and invite my colleague, Ralph Sheehy.
Kristen B, thanks for coming to the booth with me. All right, so Chase Sadoff out there on the 88. Currently the new top spot, 2-1.820 on that last lap. Coming to the checkered flag, Chase Sadoff found a little bit of speed, 2-1.820. Tom Drain slides back to second on the Yamaha, 2-1.931. And then third, Trent Lowe. Trent Lowe on the Turner Honda is third. Cody Kopp is fourth on the one. Dalton Gauthier, Aiden Roos Evans, Travis Patton, Logan Izard, and James Ott. The bikes have taken a practice session so far. There's a look at it. 2-1.820 Honda, Yamaha Honda, then a couple of KTMs up there in that top 5 spots. There are 3 groups of the Parts Limited AFT Singles sponsored by Kicker. 3 groups of practice. We have 2 rounds of practice for all of our competitors here tonight, and then we will get into 2 rounds of qualifying that will get them qualified into their qualifying heat races as they run tonight. Second group rolling onto the racetrack, led out there by the 55 of Tyler Raggio, the rookie 265 Evan Renshaw, 75 Taryn Santero, 24 Hunter Bauer from Canada, 63 Jared Lowe from Indiana, 49 Chad Coast from California, another rookie Braden Fanders, 288 from Pennsylvania, and the 52, a 2-time winner out here, Shayna Texter Bauman, 2-time winner at this racetrack, that's Shayna Texter Bauman, and she is on the 52 bike. That is Raggio out front, doing it for Raggio Racing and Sluggo Racing on the 5.5. California rider, now lives in Illinois. Looked like he was downshifting going into the corner to help him slow down. And fighting the throttle right there. Hits a little bitty bump with the rear tire. Kind of set him up in the saddle just a little bit. We slide back to Taryn Santero, another California rider. And behind him, there's Hunter Bauer, who switched on over to Yamahas for this season on that number 24. Hunter from Welland, Ontario, Canada, has rode a couple of different motorcycles since he joined us here in Progressive American Flat Track. Quickest bike on the racetrack is the 63 Jared Lowe, 22.274 for the Jet. That's Trent Lowe's little brother. You can hear him hitting the rev limiters right at the end of the straightaways. That's right before they shut off, and that's what you try to dial these singles bikes to do, is right before you get into the entrance of the corner, just start hitting that rev limiter just a little bit. A 3-way battle right here for the top spot on the racetrack. Raggio. Here comes 75 up the inside, trying to make a pass. Raggio closed the door on the 75. Taryn Santero, those two grew up racing against each other out in California, where we are headed to next weekend. Chico, California, next Saturday night. There's a race the night before at the Lodi Cycle Bowl. Hunter Bauer lets off the throttle, lets these two get back away from him. And Santero gets by the leader, the 75. Taryn Santero now goes by, and he's up to the 8th position. Rookie Braden Fanders, the 288, moves into the 6th spot. Now the fastest on the racetrack, the 288. And checkered flag is out here. Group number 2 of the Parts Limited AFT Singles presented by Kicker. There they move off of the racetrack. They will enter and exit the racetrack outside turn number 2 all evening long. Quickest on the racetrack was the 288, Braden Fanders, 22.263. This is his second professional race with us because he turned 16 after we left round 1 and round 2. Had a good run at Sonoy, Georgia the last round, and this is his second career Grand National. And Evan Renshaw also in his rookie season back there in the 13th spot. Shayna Texter Bauman is currently 15th. 17 bikes have been out so far in the AFT Singles class. The final group will be led out by the 157 Ian Wolf, the 56 Jordan Jean, 131, Evan Kelleher, another rookie. 113, Gage Smith. 40, Olin Kistler from the Pacific Northwest. 115, Justin Anselmi. 221, Daniel Poole. And the 175, TJ Welty, another rider from the Pacific Northwest. And here they come, Group 3 onto the racetrack. There's Gage Smith, his first race back since completing the Road to Recovery. It's good to see Gage back here at Progressive American Flat Track on that number 113 bike. Tulsa, Oklahoma rider. His grandfather, Charlie Smith, used to race. They're tuned in right now on FloRacing up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Looking pretty smooth so far. The 113 just getting up to speed. And a little bit sideways, just above the groove, and slows down just a little bit. That was in turn number 4. That's been the problem area so far. Now picks it back up. Try to keep it smooth on the throttle coming off of the corners. Don't want that back tire to step out too far. Now into the turn 4 area. Here he comes, getting back on the throttle, picking it back up. Pick your foot up as quickly as you can. Slide your butt back on the seat to get the traction over that rear tire. Gage Smith up to 17th on that lap. And now drops to 19th as a couple other guys go ahead of him. Ian Wolf, the fastest on the racetrack, 157. And the red flag is out once again here at Texas Motor Speedway. Big P as our flagman pulls the red flag out. Ian Wolf had the fastest lap just a moment ago here in this third session. The 22.652 slides into 13th. Olin Kistler, the number 40 bike, moves to 14th. And when the red flag comes out, they go to the hot and cold box outside turn number 2. I haven't seen anybody down yet from my point of view. Again, if you got here just a few moments ago, the open pit area has been canceled, and you can go to the pit area after the races today, so we can keep running through our practice and qualifying here today. Keep things on the racetrack going.
Oh, hey, Bill.
And the bikes are rolling again, so whatever had happened, no harm, no foul. We keep on going, so here they come. I didn't see anything from my point of view. If somebody went down, they must have got up and got going quickly, but not quickly enough to bring out the red flag. So here they come off of turn number 4. Our green flag will be out here in our third and final group of AFT singles in our first round of practice. Gage Smith now has company. Olin Kistler is right there on the 40 bike. Olin is going to try to come up the inside and makes the pass by Smith. And now he drifts up the racetrack. Gage Smith now will have somebody to chase after, somebody to watch and see what's going on, and somebody to gauge off of too. Sometimes when you're out there by yourself, it's hard to make yourself go fast because you don't know how hard you can go into these corners or how early you can get on the throttle. So this might actually help Gage Smith a little bit. He can watch Olin and see where Olin's faster than he is. The 40 bike currently 19th quick so far. Kistler in the lead, Smith right there in second on the racetrack. Now Olin Kistler, the 40 bike, goes all the way up to 6th. On that 40 bike, Ian Wolf comes up to 8th. So these younger riders a little bit more brave, maybe a little bit more courage. Charging harder right now. The 40 bike on the move up to now 5th. Olin Kistler here in group number 3, having an excellent run in this practice session. The 40 bike, a 22.247, goes all the way up to 5th. And here comes Gage Smith. Now, like I said, he has somebody to judge himself off of. Gage Smith bumps up to 8th right there on that last lap. There's the white flag. One more time to go. Now Gage Smith goes ahead of the 40 bike. The 113 picking up the pace. Gage Smith up to 5th, 22.150. He's closed the gap and caught up to the back fender of the 40 bike. Kistler goes up the racetrack. Gage coming up the inside. They almost make contact. Now here they come off of 4. Gage Smith feeling pretty good. Takes that checkered flag. Fifth position for Gage Smith, 22.150 was the fastest bike on the racetrack. Kistler was second quick on the track, 22.247 on the 40 bike. Ian Wolf was third quick in that group with the 157, 22.380. And that is it for our first round of practice out here today at Texas Motor Speedway. It is the Mission Texas Half Mile presented by Al Lamb's Dallas Honda and by Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas. All three big-time sponsors of our sport, of our racers, and sponsoring tonight's event here at the dirt track, Texas Motor Speedway. So practice is in the books, round number one, that is. We'll take a quick break. They're going to look at the racetrack, and we'll
モデルデザインっていうのがいいデザインなんだよっていうところを理解してもらう。
引っかかったりとか邪魔にならないようにっていうので、成型品の中ではできるだけ角をなくして。
People can't have pride in their work, so this will be the way we're going to stay.
Motion Pro. We make innovative tools and products that help you maintain and repair motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs. Like the patented Pro-Fill Air Chuck, helping you manage tire air pressure on your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Easily adjust the Pro-Fill Air Chuck. Get past hot disc brake rotors with the pivoting angled head. Connect it with an airline. Or pair it with a Motion Pro digital tire pressure gauge. Reach for the Pro-Fill Air Chuck to manage your tires. Get yours at motionpro.com or visit Power Sports stores nationwide.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Once again, for the 2024 season, all Progressive American flat track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop, designed for pro and amateur riders alike. The DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American flat track. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. VP Racing has been the world leader in race fuel for nearly 50 years. But did you know VP Racing also has a line of premium engine oils, gear oils, brake fluids, coolants, and additives? Find VP at your local auto parts store today or online at vpracingfuels.com. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you take your race day to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Progressive is proud to be America's #1 motorcycle insurer, protecting 1 out of every 3 insured riders. And they also offer coverage for your boat, RV, and other adventure vehicles. Quote motorcycle insurance online in as little as 3 minutes, or bundle your insurance together today. By renting the tools, equipment, and attachments you need to get the job done, and buying the machines you use every day, your local cat dealer and cat rental store can help you win wherever you're doing the work.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead.
These are the best motorcycle riders in the world, racing on the most challenging tracks on the planet. Only a crazy person would compete in this sport.
Oh, boy! Contact there!
Watch out!
Sliding through the corners, handlebar to handlebar.
Going fast and on the edge and out of control.
Every decision we make, we're going to make to win.
Racing is all about being mentally tough.
You might as well pack your stuff up and go home.
It's speed. You feel it.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Yep.
Harrow blade.
Mm-hmm.
It spins around, right?
Yep.
And they kind of intertwine
turns
as they
up the dirt
go
a little
around.
bit. Yeah. Yep.
Ronnie is of the belief that a Harrow blade would be the answer for all of our issues with prepping racetracks everywhere we go. That's a big part of what they do at the Chili Bowl.
Right.
And it spins, right? And it kind of interconnects as it spins.
It's weird.
They touch as they go around, right?
Kind of, sort of, but it opens it up.
Opens it up and causes a cushion, helps develop a cushion, right?
Did Ronnie bring one with him?
Apparently not.
Because he rode with my dad.
Yeah, he rode with
Fast Eddie.
With you, Fast Eddie, and
yeah.
Although they had room in the truck, could have brought one with him.
Did you see his ankle?
I did.
It's like a foot around. My dad said.
It's a big deal.
Well, he is a big deal.
Just ask him; he'll tell you. He said an injury from like '83. And they did an ankle replacement on it. Can't put any weight on it for about 6 weeks. And then he'll be good to go.
And then he'll be ready to get back into the Bull Taco Astro Invitational stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy.
Oh, questions coming in now. Fast and Furious from the other end of the truck. Have you had experience with other farm equipment?
So when I was a little kid, we had a racetrack in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sioux Valley Cycle Club, and I was probably 4 or 5, and my dad would start the tractor, get it going, pull it down, and I couldn't touch any pedals or anything like that, but he would start it, and then he would hop off. We had a box blade on the back, and he had, like, the old wheels you'd have. One would do the pitch like this, one would do the different deals like that. So I drove the tractor around that racetrack. I don't know how many laps when I couldn't even touch nothing, but I can drive a tractor. And, it was safe back then, right?
It makes all the sense in the world.
Exactly. I turned out all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a matter of opinion,
right?
If you say so. Yeah. Just ask me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started watching Yellowstone, so I'm a couple episodes away from being a full-fledged cowboy here. So, I mean.
So where's your boots?
Well, I didn't say I'm there yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. You know how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Watch a little TV and you're an expert on everything.
Exactly. You know.
So the other end of the truck wants to know if you and I see anything that stands out on the track. Yeah, Caterpillar.
There's a Caterpillar out there. They've big time
tractor
sponsor. They've saved us a few
Hey,
times
you
at
know
Peoria
what we
Motor
missed
Speedway.
out on?
What's that?
I just found out about this from my new friend Kara from the folks at Caterpillar that are here.
Yep.
There is a Caterpillar display here at the track.
Okay.
And we could have raced RC Caterpillar.
What
machinery?
How we not get the memo on that deal?
I'm still thinking we should just put the headphones down and go down there.
Do you know? Yeah, Steve Moorhead's got more laps than anybody, so I think he would win.
Yeah. But that sounds like a really good time to me.
Yeah, so I just got confirmation that Kenny Roberts has been saying for years now that a Harrow is needed to keep the flat tracks racier.
Well, if it's good for the king, it's good for me.
All right, I got you. I do love coming to this facility. It is beautiful out here. Just outside Texas Motor Speedway is just behind the front straightaway grandstands, and they got that Good Guys car show going on. We hung out with a bunch of them last night at a restaurant nearby.
They're all over the place over here.
Got to see Mini Bike Mike.
Yeah, Mini Bike Mike. That was great.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun. So the folks
Mike
are just
Cook.
Yep, Mike Cook from Oklahoma City. So the
There's
folks are
the
just
big track over there.
Pulling in right here. Yeah, look those.
I did the
condos,
first NASCAR race over there on CBS way
the
back
first
when.
one ever.
First one ever.
And we were talking about that yesterday.
I did the first sprint car race
right here
on the dirt track right here on TNN way back when.
Man, that means you've been around for a while. All right, so our 3-play guy that sits in the back row of the truck did the first ever replay on Big Hoss. It's down there on the back straightaway, the world's largest outdoor screen. And Jason was the first one that actually ran a replay on that screen.
That was the idea of our good buddy Eddie Gossage, who was a long-time Texas Motor Speedway track president.
I love it. That
couldn't have played out any better right there. That's
Man.
TV magic going on right there.
Magic. Look at that little short track right there for the little go-karts and mini sprints and stuff.
Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Run a lot of Legends and Bandoleros over there.
Yeah.
It's an incredible facility here. It's massive. Bruton Smith, of course, all part of the Speedway Motorsports Incorporated racetrack family.
SMI.
Mm-hmm. Goes along with Charlotte and Bristol and Atlanta and on and on and on.
Well, that's what I want to see right here is the Mission Super Twins are pulling back up again. They're still prepping the racetrack, kind of sweeping off some of those marbles that have formed out here in turns 3 and 4 especially. So when they get that cleared off, then they'll send out that next group onto the racetrack, and we'll get to see the premier class out, the Mission Super Twins. We have 22 of them. 18 of them will make the main event. So we go from practice, 2 rounds of qualifying, and then we start our heat races. We take the top 6 out of the heat races, and we'll take the top 6 out of the last chance qualifier.
Yeah. Last minute instructions.
Yep, here they go, putting their shields down. There's Michelle DeSatvo kind of sneaking in to see what's going on with the riders in front. Group 1, 32, Dallas Daniels is our points leader. He'll lead them out. 44 is Brandon Robinson. The 1 is Jared Meese, Mr. Texas Flat Track. The 92, Brandon Price, right there on the left side of our screen. The 3 is Briar Bauman. 67, Davis Fisher. The 20 is Jared Vandekoy. 21, Trevor Bruner. The 10, Johnny Lewis on the Royal Enfield. 62, Dan Bromley on the Honda. And the 34, Cameron Smith on the Ryan Varnes Racing. Schaefer's Motorsports KTM number 34 will be the last bike out here. There are 11 bikes coming in Group 1 and 11 bikes in Group number 2. We head to your neck of the woods next week.
Chico, baby, NorCal, here we come. And I was just talking to Cameron about that, Cameron Gray, and he said ticket sales are booming in Chico. So if you have any plans on coming out to Silver Dollar Speedway to watch the flat track racing there for the first time, better get on it. Call up, get your tickets now, because they are going fast.
Order them online, AmericanFlatTrack.com.
But, as every good promoter will tell you, tickets still available.
That's true. Yeah. Tickets still available until the last second.
Always, right?
Yep. Line them up. You see they got a little pavement hill going up to the entrance of the racetrack. Ralph, what are you doing the night before the race in Chico?
Getting reacclimated with some old fraternity brothers, probably.
Yeah.
Visit the Madison Bear Garden.
Okay.
Famous collegiate restaurant there in town.
Well, I invite you to go on down to Lodi because I'm going to be down
you're
there.
Gonna be the Lodi Cycle Bowl.
Because why? Because I'm the Grand Marshal.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. That means I'm getting old.
No, well, you're being honored as you should.
Well, thank you,
which
Ralph.
Is very cool. I was thinking about going over to Cycle Land.
They're running next Friday night
I
well.
used to be the Friday night announcer over there.
All right, they're going to come on out and do a practice start, and then they will take off for our second round of practice. And it looks like they're going to start back there on like the third or the fourth row to save the front 2 rows a good starting spot for when the heat races actually matter. So they'll do a little practice start. This is our second round of practice for the Mission Super Twins. That's Ralph Shaheen, who kind of slid in here, didn't get to introduce you.
Well, that's all right.
That's all right. We're going to your neck of the woods next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll have a lot of fun out there.
Can't wait. Going
Is there
out
ice cream
Thursday.
in store next weekend?
Oh, we'll find some.
Okay, all right.
We'll find some.
A little practice start. There goes Dallas Daniels, the 32 from Mattoon, Illinois, part of the FBI, the Fast Boys from Illinois. Brandon Price, the 92, is chasing him. He's from Maryland, and he's got it on a team that's based out of Maryland, so a good little connection right there. They used the street sweeper and swept off those marbles, swept them down closer to the inside, especially down there in turns 3 and 4 to try to give us a little bit better racing surface here tonight. Nobody's really pushing really hard just yet, Ralph. I think they're waiting a little bit longer. Had a few bikes kind of back in, stepping out on them a little bit down here in 3 and 4. That's why we're keeping an eye on that end of the racetrack. Breyer to the top spot, 2:1.330. That's the fastest lap we have seen so far tonight.
Getting a little more confident in it.
Chris and I were talking, they've had a month off to work on that chassis. He just started riding on those Howerton chassis this season, so maybe that time off did him some good. Breyer 2:1.330. He has 2 wins down here in Texas over at the Devil's Bowl Speedway during the COVID year. We ran at Texas Motor Speedway in the fall.
Well, if you follow Breyer on social media, you'll see that he was out doing some testing during the break from Sonoy to here.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. That's the only way these bikes are going to get better, especially when you're working with the new chassis. We slide back to the 3.
Yes.
2-time champ in our premier class. You can hear the different sounds of the different brands out there. You have a Yamaha, KTM, Indian, and a Royal Enfield all on the track right now. Breyer goes way up by the back straightaway wall.
They're taking it right up to the wall, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just going to talk about. They went way up the racetrack coming off a 2. So far, Dallas was fastest in the first round. Now he goes back to the top spot here in round 2. 2:1.305 on that last lap, the quickest lap for the 32 from Mattoon, Illinois. That is the quickest lap we have seen so far this evening. 2:1.305 for Dallas Daniels. He's a 2-time singles champ, still looking for his first championship in the premier class, riding for the Estenson Racing Monster Energy Yamaha team. There it is, 2:1.30. Breyer's in second.
Yeah, he's shown some flashes already this year, and you and I both think that as he gets more accustomed to the bigger bike, he's going to get faster and faster. Big, tall rider should be good on a twin.
Yeah, just some seat time is what he needs, so he's getting plenty on that 18. That's a Harley-Davidson XG 750. 37 Bronson Bauman pulls up on his KTM. 25.
Speaking of XGs.
There you go. All right.
Did you know that our friends at Back on Track are going to be raffling off a Harley-Davidson XG 750R?
Did you buy one?
I did not buy one yet.
You can scan that code, though, right?
You can buy your tickets, yes, and you can get them at the tracks.
Okay.
This is coming right out of the Vance and Hines stables, courtesy of Terry Vance and the folks over there.
And the picture on the number plate, that was when Davis Fisher rode for the factory Harley team.
So how cool is that? Brand new, fresh out of the crate.
That's awesome.
XG 750R.
Then you can start a race team, Ralph, next year.
I could.
The Speed Sport 1 race team.
How about it? And that bike, I was told, is going to be raffled off after Lima.
Okay.
So probably the race right after Lima. So first race in July.
They have a raffle going on here tonight, too, as well. They didn't tell us what they're raffling. Usually they do it.
Tickets are going towards that.
Oh, they take tickets
Towards
for that?
the
Okay, I got you. All right. So they do have raffles going on all season long. So if you're not familiar with Back on Track, it helps riders that crash or get injured in our sport to help them get back to the racetrack.
And then a little insider info, I've been told after the XG,
yep,
they got an XR for the second half of the year.
I'm going to say, no, I don't know. I'd like to have either one of them. I never owned a Harley flat track bike. I raced the 883 Harley, but I raced for different people. I never actually owned the motorcycle.
A fresh out of the crate XG is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. You know, whatever track work they did during our short break between practice round 1 and round 2, it seems to be helping.
Yeah. You can tell it's still, guys are still fighting it a little bit, but it doesn't seem as bad as it was.
And honestly, Ralph, I'm not a big fan of the street sweeper, but what other option right now do you have to get those marbles off the racetrack? So they pushed the marbles down, and we're about a half a second faster than we were in our first practice session. There's Bronson bound in the 37. Riding for Amy and Arnie Wick. That 37 bike getting more and more comfortable out there. The 25 Ben Lau, one of the riders that went down that first practice session. The checkered flag is out here in the Super Twins. Maxwell fastest out there. No, Bronson was fastest out there in that group. Moves up to 8th. Maxwell is 9th here in this first round of practice for the Mission Super Twins. Up next is the Royal Enfield, the 70 bike. Declan Bender has another mechanical. He's pushing his Grumpy Old Men Racing Indian up the racetrack once again. He had mechanical in that first round as well. So Declan Bender right now struggling just a little bit. Up next is the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. 9 ladies have made the trip down here to Texas. And here they come, rolling onto the racetrack. Here is the Royal Enfield Build Train Race ladies. They'll get a practice start too, I believe. They're going to keep it consistent, so they'll come out and do a practice start. 156 Morgan Pillar, she's from Wisconsin. 17 Kinsey Luker from California. Taya Little on the 11 is from Canada. Maya Maffei's on the 28. Shasta LaRue on the 67. The 2 is Michaela Nichols. The 35 is Hannah Lang. She's also from Wisconsin. 22 is Hannah Robertson. And the 8 out there is Christiana Ross. Those are the riders out there on the racetrack. These are Royal Enfield INT 650s. They convert them on over into flat track racing machines. I like how they have the different colors and all that stuff on their bikes.
So, Scotty, when you would come out and you would go to do your practice start, what are 3 things that you're looking for?
I'm looking for how quickly I can let that clutch out. You know, maybe you might have to slip it. Maybe you can just kind of dump it. Maybe, you know, how you position yourself on the bike. And then how quickly can I get into that next gear? You know, you're starting in, probably on these bikes, probably starting in first on these Royal Enfields, and how quickly can I get into second? How quickly can I get into third before I get to that first corner? So just, you know, getting off the line well, getting through the gearbox, and positioning yourself on the motorcycle to do all that, all the above. See 11 right there, Taya Little. She won 1 round down there at Daytona.
Yeah, she did.
Short track. And the 17 Kinsey Luker
really
won
well.
the other round. Yeah, she's adapting to these bikes. And actually, she raced at Daytona International Speedway a couple years ago as an amateur rider. She goes very well up at the Canadian track, so it's good to see her racing down here with us with Progressive American Flat Track. And some of these other ladies, it's their first time on a half mile, so you know, kind of take it easy just a little bit. Don't force the issue, and let the track work in a little bit. Let the rubber start going down on the racetrack as we slide back to Kinsey Luker. I love the checkered flags on the bottom of her leathers. That's her husband, Andrew, has the same checkered flags on the bottom of his leathers as well. She is.
Yeah, it's really like starting the season all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, with the 4-week break, definitely.
4 weeks off,
yep.
And starting for the first time on a half mile.
And these bikes were built here in the area, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, before the season started, and the ladies all flew down here at the same time. They all worked in the same shop and got to get to know each other and learn each other and stuff like that, and you know, maybe change ideas with somebody else. As there goes some more checkered flags on their leathers. That's Shasta LaRue right there from the Denver, Colorado area, number 67. Fastest Shasta's up to third right now at the 2:4.895. She's still looking for her first win. She's been close a few times. This
all around it, hasn't she?
This program now, they can only stick in this class for 2 years. That will open up the door for more ladies to come in and learn this class and learn more about flat track. So they also have a road racing program as well. 11, Taya Little out there leading the way, but the fastest bike so far in this practice session is Kinsey Luker, the 17 bike, and she was fastest in the first round with a 2:5.794. They're all the way down to a 2:4.618, so they're over a second faster here in this second round of practice. So they are definitely feeling a lot better out here in this second round. Good battle right here. Taya on the 11, Kinsey on the 17. Checkered flag is out. 2:4.618 for Kinsey Luker from California. There's the 8 right there, Christiana Ross. 67 Shasta will take her bike up to the pit area. She usually brings her 2 daughters with her, and she's trying to teach them, and they actually got to race at a race in Colorado a week or so ago.
I like that.
I do too. Get the whole family involved. Singles are coming up next, 3 groups. What's that?
Singles getting ready to go.
Yeah, 25 of them. Fastest 18 will make the main event. If you don't make it straight out of the heat race, you come back in a last chance qualifier. We'll take 6 out of the heats, 6 out of the last chance qualifiers. Lining them up. And here they come, rolling to the racetrack. The 1's Cody Kopp, the 79 Dalton Gauthier, 59 Tom Drain, 88 Chase Sadoff, 48 Trent Lowe. Trent's supposed to have some special leathers out here for the Texas half mile. 19 James Ott, 26 Aiden Roosevans, 82 Travis Pettin, and the 66 Logan Eisenhard was so impressive down there at Daytona, and is run really good out here for his second season with us. He's out of Pennsylvania on that 66 bike.
Yeah, I was talking to Michael Turner down there. All the Turner guys are coming out in some specific leathers to pay tribute to the folks at Mission Foods who've been helping out that team and helping out our sport for so many years.
You see Trent right there in the middle of the second row with a little bit more yellow on his leathers than normal. Again, that's, like you said, to honor Mission Foods.
Yeah.
There's Cody Kopp, the Parts Plus
And
KTM.
I think it's hard to tell from that shot, but I think what you think is yellow is actually more gold.
Okay.
From what I was told. I didn't have a chance to see him up close in the paddock area, but from what I hear, it's supposed to be more gold.
I like it.
Donated or given to the folks at Mission Foods.
Sweet.
Mr. G and the folks. Oh, hang on, Cody.
Kopp got a little bit sideways right there. That time is coming off of turn number 2. The action's been down here in 3 and 4. They worked on 3 and 4 between round 1 and round 2 of practice. Maybe after this round, they'll work on turn 1 and 2, possibly. 59, keeping Cody honest right there. Tom Drain, take a look at the flow replay. Watch the back end right about there, stepping out. Does a good job, just barely cracking off the throttle. If you chop it too soon, it's going to high side you. Yeah, so you don't want to do that.
That's hard to convince yourself,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Tom Drain to the top spot, 2:1.253, 2:1.2. So they're about a half a second faster than they were in practice so far early on in this second round of practice. So track maintenance is definitely working out here. Here comes Drain closing in on the 1. Kopp was 4th quick in first round, and he's 4th quick so far here in round number 2. It might be a good thing if he lets the 59 go by so we can see where Tom's
What
faster
he's
than
doing,
him.
yeah.
Possibly so. There he takes a look over his shoulder.
He's back there.
Yeah, he knows he's coming, and he does. He pulls over, lets him go by. And now Cody Kopp goes to school. He's going to watch the 59 and say, hey, where are you going faster than me? White flag is out, so he'll only have 1 lap to go to school. And Drain goes up the racetrack. Maybe he doesn't want to show his cards just yet. Yeah, they're slowing down. Drain's no dummy. He's not going to show him the quick way. That's awesome. Little cat and mouse going on between the 1 to 59.
I already laid the lap down. I'm good now.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. That was fun. Drain says, nope, I'm not going to show you the quick way. Just to put it in perspective, Drain's fastest lap was a 2:1.17. That last time by, after Cody let him go by, he slowed it down to a 2:2.29. So
yeah.
He's not showing him
He's just cruising at that point.
He's not showing no quick ways around. Drain at the top spot, 2:1.173 here in our second round of practice. Sadoff is second, Ott is third, Kopp is fourth, Roos Evans is fifth, Eisenhard, Lowe, Pettin, and Gautier back there in ninth. Here comes group number 2 onto the racetrack. You got Tyler Raggio from California on the 55, 265 Evan Renshaw from Pennsylvania, 75 Terrence Santero from California, 24 Hunter Bauer from Canada, 63 Jared Lowe from Indiana, 49 Chad Coase from California, the 288 Braden Fanders from Pennsylvania, and the 52 Shayna Texter Bauman, 2-time winner here at this track, and she is from Pennsylvania. Raymond Rizzo shows the red flag, trying to stop them all back there so they can get a practice start and get this second round of practice underway. Quick time is a 2:1.173 from Tom Drain. You know they're going to be going back to the pit area making some more changes, and as the track gets faster, you might have to take a tooth off that rear sprocket to go a little bit quicker. If we can keep dropping a half a second every time we go out, the track will get really fast tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And the temperature will go down a little bit. It probably won't drop too much further here tonight. It'll get a little bit cooler. Big P's talking to, looks like the other, that's Evan Renshaw, the 265. Looks like he's giving the business right there a little bit.
Well, when he came out, they had the red flag.
Oh, he kept going?
And he kept going. I don't know if he forgot they were doing the practice start.
And he is a rookie.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
So, hey, you got to let him know those things, right? You go, hey, pal, you got to be aware all the time when you're on the track.
How about this? 16-year-old rookie right here out in front, Braden Fanders from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He was up for the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award last year at the Amateur Nationals. The Flat Track Grand Championships is the real name. And his first race was Sonoy because he turned 16 after we raced Daytona. He had a good run at Sonoy. Fanders on the 288. Grew up racing as an amateur with an 88, but when you first get your license, you have to be a 3-digit number, so he kept with the 88, but added a 2 at the start. Somebody's messing with the lights over here. Is that you, Ralph?
No? I don't think so.
All right. Maybe somebody should pay the power bill. Or
could
something.
Be.
Oh, it's Zachariah. I see now. This guy.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Zach.
We'll take a look at the FloRacing replay right here. Watch the 288. Back in, stepping out. That's right where Cody Kopp stepped out just a little bit. So now 1 and 2 is getting a little bit dicey. First round, it was turn 4 that was the dicey area. Fanders looking pretty good. Renshaw, the 265, is all the way up to third, the other rookie. Fanders currently 10th. Renshaw riding the Turner Honda. He's a 265, a 2:1.441. And he grew up racing against the bike we're keeping an eye on right there, Braden Fanders. Fanders is 10th right now. Fanders really slides into the corner right there.
Sure does.
Santero's chasing him on that 75 bike. Terrence Santero currently 11th. Fanders currently 10th.
There's a different vibe going down into the paddock today, not one tent up anywhere.
Yeah, it's very different when it's this windy out, and they don't want, of course, if the big windstorm comes through later on, like possibly could, they don't want to take their tents away, but yeah, it's definitely different. There goes Fanders going off the racetrack. That's group number 2. Renshaw goes all the way up to third on that Turner Racing Honda, 2:1.441.
Methinks we're going to be hearing a lot more about that young man soon.
Yeah, I think so. I think, he's been under the tutelage of Corey Texter. Used to run number 65 as an amateur. Now he's 265 for the same reason. Fanders runs at 2 in front of his 88. But both those guys from Pennsylvania, both of them race each other all the time. And I think we got the future is bright right there for those This class especially, but they'll be moving, soon up into the Premier class.
Do you think we could get our drone to fly over to Buc-ee's and get some stuff and bring it back?
If you paid them enough, probably.
Probably could, right?
We haven't gone over there yet.
The guys like Amazon talking about delivering packages by drones.
Yeah, we could try that.
We should be able to get deliveries from Buc-ee's that way, right?
Let's work on that. Group 3 is on the racetrack for the singles class. 157, Ian Wolf from Ohio. 56, Jordan Jean from Michigan. 131, Evan Kelleher. 113, Gage Smith from Oklahoma. The 40, Olin Kistler from the Pacific Northwest. Justin Anselmi is on the 115 from California. 221, Daniel Poole from South Carolina. And the 175, TJ Welty from Castle Rock, Washington area.
Did you see Jason up front there is running a Buc-ee's blanket?
Yeah, it's cold in this truck.
It's chilly in the truck.
I got my jacket on.
As it always is. Got to keep all this equipment cool.
I talk about you? You're the equipment?
Not me. All the TV equipment.
Okay, I got you. I just wanted to clarify. So the 40 bike got all the way up to about the 4th position in that first round of practice, and he is leading right now in this second round of practice. Olin Kistler right there on the brand new number 40 got it after making main events last year. Ian Wolf on the 157 chasing him. They call him Shorty. He's about 6'4", maybe 6'5". He's a tall rider right there. Second place on the screen. 157. He'll have a 2-digit number next year. He made some main events already. Not sure where Gage Smith is. He started out front in the last round, and maybe he wants to start out back and watch what's going on in front of him. He goes up to 17th on the 113 bike. Kistler on the 40 on the screen. He's 21st, so just because he's out in front doesn't mean he's got the fastest lap on the track. Justin Anselmi, the 115, goes up to 17th quick. Well, Wolf really slides into turn 3 on that 157 bike. Here comes the 115. Justin Anselmi right there, third on the racetrack, is moving up the leaderboard. Chasing down the 157. There he is right there on the screen. A good run so far by Anselmi. His rookie season.
Good thing about this track is it's a wide racetrack, so if you have an issue, if you start sliding in a corner, you got a lot of ground to chase it.
Yeah, you can go up the racetrack quite a bit. Of course, you're going to get into the marbles. There won't be as much traction up there, but you have a little extra runoff before you do get into the hairpins. And Selmy comes up the inside of Wolf right there. Nice pass going into 3.
Yeah, it did.
And he makes the pass coming to the checkered flag right there. Good run from Anselmi. 115. I don't think that lap will be that fast because he has some lap traffic, but he gets up to a 2:1.860. There he is. Good run. He's got Unsettled Racing on the front of the leathers. So the quickest through our second round of practice is the 59, Tom Drain here at Texas Motor Speedway, 2:1.173. Chase Sadoff second, 2:1.396. Evan Renshaw, the rookie, 2:1.441 is third. So 2 rounds of practice are in the books. When we're back on the track, it will be time for qualifying, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
And I mentioned it earlier, but there is no open paddock area right now. The open pits will be after the races tonight, so we can keep the show going. We started a little bit late, but we're going to keep the show going. So the open paddock will be after the races.
Dallas Honda is the proud sponsor of the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Singles Challenge. $2,500, winner take all. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, DallasHonda.com. Se habla español, financing available, ITIN welcome.
Rent, the tools, equipment, and attachments you need to get the job done. Buy the equipment you use every day. Win wherever you're doing the work.
Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects.
Parts Unlimited. The people behind We Support the Sport welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best and high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport. Once again, for the 2024 season, all Progressive American flat track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop, designed for pro and amateur riders alike. The DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American flat track. Don't spin your wheels with motorcycle insurance. Get protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer when you quote online in as little as 3 minutes. Have more adventure vehicles? Bundle your boat, RV, or ATV with Progressive today to see if you could save. Royal Enfield returns for the 2024 season, bringing back Build, Train, Race and its 7 new riders, rounding out to be a 10-women roster. Along with the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield, Johnny Lewis and team taking on their 5th season with American Flat Track. After a successful 2023 season of establishing a spot in the premier class, the team is excited to see what is in store for yet again another full season of racing. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of the Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs. Whatever your watering application, compaction, dust control, fire prevention, or rowing vegetation, Nice water trucks are built for the toughest jobs. There's a Nice water truck that is a perfect fit for your needs. Visit niceequipment.com today and get the job done.
Hello and welcome back to the Mission Texas Half Mile presented by Al Lamb's Dallas Honda and by Root Systems of Dallas, Texas. I'm Scotty Dilbert here in the booth along with Ralph Shaheen, my partner, again for the 2024 season. It is round number 4, Progressive American Flat Track. We have qualifying coming up next, Ralph. It's time to get serious.
Inching our way closer to actual racing, Scotty, and ready to go, man.
All right, Ralph, while you were outside, I don't know what you're doing, buying raffle tickets and T-shirts and getting your caffeine. This is practice round 1. All the carnage in turn number 4. Jared Meese gets really sideways right there, and here comes Ben Lau. He was in the next group, and he throws it down on the 25, Rackley Racing KTM. And now here goes the 67, Davis Fisher. He gets it pretty sideways a couple of different times right there, hanging on to it.
Pretty safe to say everybody's putting it sideways at some point in time today or another.
That was actually Kinsey Luker, too, in the Royal Enfield. And there goes Travis Pettin up and over. He didn't get as lucky and didn't save it as many times. And there is Sadoff getting all the way up off the rear end, up onto the front end. And now he's switch on over to turns 1 and 2, and a couple of more riders got really sideways. So they're going to be battling the racetrack just as much as battling against each other. Looks like they're putting a little floor dry onto the racetrack. So that's never a good sign. Somebody let go some oil, possibly, or some fluid coming onto the racetrack, looks like. But
would you call it floor dry?
Yeah, floor dry, kitty litter.
I've never heard floor dry as a term. Yeah, kitty litter.
Yeah, so we had race cars at our house and stuff like that. We just said, go get the floor dry.
I just never heard anybody call it floor dry. I mean, it makes sense. I just have not heard that term before.
We actually had an old beer mug in this big old box, and we just grab a scoop and that's why farmers do it in Oklahoma, Ralph. Not so much in California, I guess, huh?
No.
Floor dry.
We didn't call it floor dry.
What, you only have floors out there or what?
No, we do. Well, it's like...
Are we having fun yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the last chance qualifier. A lot of guys call it...
Donkey?
Hey, donkey!
Is that one of our relatives, or...?
I think Tree's trying to make a statement.
Donkey? Hey...
But a lot of people call it last chance qualifier, the LCQ.
Right.
I've heard others call it the hooligan race.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's just different names.
Yeah.
It all works. Yeah, speedy dry, floor dry.
Speedy dry, I'd heard, yeah.
Kitty litter.
Kitty litter, speedy dry. I just hadn't heard floor dry.
All right.
It makes sense.
Stick with me, Ralph. I'll teach you
I'm
things.
with you, pal. Right in your draft.
Tucked in and drafting. So we've had 2 rounds of practice for all 3 classes. Now we're going to have 2 rounds of qualifying, which I think it's very important because you want to start on that front row of the heat race because you don't want to have to pass people on any particular track, but definitely I don't think you want to pass anybody tonight. You want to get out front and lead as many laps as you can. Also, $500 up for grabs for the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award. Cleaning off the floor dry right here, blowing it down the inside of the track. And at the last round, round number 3, Cody Kopp was our FloRacing fastest lap of the day. That could be from practice, could be from qualifying, a heat, a challenge race, or a main event or last chance qualifier. And last round, it was Cody Kopp picking up the extra money from FloRacing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this place. I really like clay half miles, and record seems to be good on them lately. Just got to get the head right, and we'll go put in some fast laps hopefully today. Hope this track shapes up good and puts on some good racing for the fans.
NHRA is right in Charlotte.
Rick Ware's out there in Charlotte, you saying?
Yeah, well, he lives there.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, they're doing 4 wides, aren't they?
They're doing the 4 wide at ZMAX, so Clay Milliken in the Parts Plus dragster running
he
there.
loved it down Daytona. He was having a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It was good to see him out there. Yeah, it definitely helps when you're a quick racer, you're winning. All right, so we just heard from Cody Kopp, who is the Flo fastest lap from Sonoy, and the Flo fastest lap in Sonoy and the Super Twins, Dallas Daniels.
I think just keep being consistent, keep just trying to go as fast as you can. It's like when you show up, it's not really like a goal to have the fastest lap, but extra $500 from Flo is never a bad thing. So I think it's just one of those things that right now we're just gelling well with the bike, gelling well with the team, and coming into new tracks, we're always just trying to do our best. And right now it's been the best for the fastest lap time. I'd rather have all 3 wins, but fastest lap from FloRacing will do for now.
Pretty funny right there. He made a big old cheesy smile right there. That was awesome.
Hilarious, right?
I wonder what Kristen said. Kristen must have said something to him.
Knowing Kristen, probably.
Yep. Smile. Dee-dee-dee. Don't forget, get your souvenir T-shirts there right out front, the American Flat Track booth. It's right out front by the main entrance to the track. They got some cool shots on there. Dan Bromley's on the front of the picture of a T-shirt this year, the 62. Really? And there's actually 3 different bikes on there. I know Bromley right in the middle of the screen on that Al Lamb Dallas Honda. It's good to have Honda back out here in the Premier class. So a little extra cleanup on the speedy dry, the floor dry over here outside of turn number 2. Just a couple more moments, we'll be back on the racetrack. So what's ahead for you new fans? We have 2 rounds of qualifying. We take the fastest lap from each session, and that's how they get qualified into their qualifying heat races. After qualifying is done with all 3 classes, we do have opening ceremonies right after that. They'll be short and sweet today. We'll get right into our racing action. We'll have 2 heat races for the AFT singles class. We'll have 2 heat races for the Super Twins. We'll have 1 heat race for the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. We'll come back with the fastest 4 laps, the Parts Unlimited AFT Singles. Actually, no, the Last Chance Qualifiers are up next. And then we'll have the challenge races, the Parts Limited AFT Singles, have the Al Lamb Dallas Honda Challenge Race, 4 laps, $2,500 to win. The Mission Super Twins, Mission 2 Fast, 2 Tasty Challenge Race, 4 laps, $5,000 to win. And then our 3 main events, Royal Enfield Build Train Race main event, AFT Singles main event, and then our AFT Mission Super Twins main event will be the final race of the night.
In the If You Ask, You Shall Receive category, we mentioned our buddy Rick Ware, and guess what? Just got back to the house in Mooresville from out ZMAX.
Yeah.
Clay qualified 4th. So that's good for eliminations getting underway out there tomorrow.
Nice.
He's back at the house, got us up on the big screen, getting ready to watch all of our racing here, hoping that his riders here do well. So glad to have you tuned in, Rick. Hope your guys and gals, because he's got Shayna too.
Right.
Give you something to cheer about while you're watching tonight, and best of luck tomorrow.
Will you make it home in time to go tomorrow, or what? Have you even thought about going out there tomorrow, Charlotte?
I don't think I will.
Be pretty close.
Think I'll get home in time.
Hopefully the weather cooperates to get you out of here on time tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely doing that.
Lining them up for qualifying. I just did. All right, make sure you head on down to the souvenir tent. It's right outside the front gate, right inside the front gate. When you come into the facility, they're going to take the big, heavy tent down, but they're going to be still out there selling shirts right by where you came into the racetrack. So stop by and get your Texas Half Mile T-shirt. They got some really cool shirts, some other different styles I haven't even seen before, so stop by and check them out. Some of them have limited size available, so go down there and check it out when you get a break in the action.
Yeah, I didn't get over there this weekend either.
Bikes are rolling onto the racetrack. It's qualifying time out here at Texas Motor Speedway. Mission Super Twins up first. 11 bikes rolling onto the racetrack. Quickest lap is what we're looking for out of these next 2 rounds and these next 3 groups. And here they come up to full speed. 32, Dallas Daniels. 44, Brandon Robinson. The 1 is Meese. 92 is Price. The 3 is Breyer Bauman. 67, Davis Fisher. 20, Jared Vanderkoy. 21, Trevor Bruder. The 10 is Johnny Lewis. 62 is Dan the Man, Dan Bromley. And the 34, Cameron Smith. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. It is time to see what you can do. Lay down your fastest lap to get you into our qualifying heat race. Robinson out front, and he's feeling pretty good out here today. Cameron Smith at the tail of the field on the Varnes Racing KTM.
Well, I'm just ready for that to catch on. I think that's going to take off here this year before too long.
Yeah, there is the giraffe, Dan Bromley. They got some new T-shirts down there in the pits, too. He's got a giraffe on the Honda motorcycle. Really? It's hilarious.
That might be one I got to go check out.
I love it. I saw that from his wife on social media this week. Meese goes to the top spot, 21.272, 21.272.
We apparently need a name and a T-shirt.
A name for the giraffe?
No, you and I.
Oh, yeah.
Need a name and then a T-shirt.
Have you ever had a nickname, Ralph? I think everybody just calls you.
I had a fraternity nickname.
Uh-oh.
We'll get into that next week.
Next week, yeah. We'll save that one for
I got fraternity brothers coming out for the race.
Chico,
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got all these grumpy old men racing and all this stuff, right?
Right.
Giraffe and all that.
Yep.
So I think you and I need some sort of a name.
All right.
And then we have to do a T-shirt.
We'll have to work on that, yeah. I like
maybe we should get our fans out there listening in. Maybe we should.
Throw some suggestions.
Throw some suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid of what they might come up with.
There is Meese on the number 1 Indian motorcycle out in front.
Maybe we hit on a good one.
21.272 is quickest lap so far. Last time by 21.419. Daniels moves into third on the 32, 21.348. Just ahead is Breyer on the 21.343 on the number 3 bike. Also, for you new fans, single digits are former Grand National champions in this class. The 1 is last year's champion, gets to run the number 1 plate the next year.
Boy, you love seeing that, don't you?
Definitely.
On the front of your bike.
I wouldn't know.
I wasn't going to say it.
I know, but you threw me that softball. I had to swing at it, right?
Yeah, it's always good to have the ability to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You did a heck of a job, Scotty.
I won a Texas Indoor Series. Ed Beckley has been texting me right now. He had a Texas Indoor Series. I won that championship. Got to run the number 1 plate for a little while for that.
What's that shiny orb in the sky I see there?
I believe that's the sun. Or it's the headlight off that motorcycle.
Could be that,
yeah. So the time to beat, 21.272. One more group to go here in round 1, and Maxwell should lead him out on the Harley Davidson, number 18. 25, Ben Lau from Michigan. 36, Colby Carlisle on the Yamaha. 70, Declan Bender hasn't finished a practice session yet. 37, that's Bronson Bauman on the KTM. 107, Wyatt Vaughn, to call him Red, out of Michigan. 166, the freight train Logan McGrain from Pennsylvania. 99, the freak of nature Kevin Stallings from Indianapolis. 13, Morgan Mischler from Wisconsin. 47, Michael Hill from the Pacific Northwest, Oregon to be exact. And the 56, Jordan Jean. He's the only rider running double duty racing in the Super Twins and the singles class on that 56, and he is from Midland, Michigan. Van Lau trying to chase the 18 down the back straightaway. Max isn't even putting his left foot down right there, kind of road racing that Harley Davidson. Just his 4th race on the twin, moving up to the Premier Class this season. Max Whale got the Nicky Hayden replica Arai helmet on. So Meese has the fastest lap, 21.272. It's the fastest lap we have seen so far in the twins class. We have a little bit faster lap in the singles class. So right now the singles are running the same speed, pretty close to the twins.
Stepping into our booth right now saying hi, Dave Hart.
How you doing?
World-renowned PR man extraordinaire from right here at Texas Motor Speedway. And guess what else Dave Hart is?
What's that?
fellow graduate from the great Chico State, baby.
No way.
Way.
They're multiplying.
Oh, he says he never graduated.
It was ranked #1 party school in the country.
That's it. That's it.
They're both
you
agreeing
got to come
with
with
me.
us to go racing at Chico next week. He's love to do it.
Yeah, here comes the 36 Carlisle trying to go by the 25 of Ben Lau right there. So you never know who you're going to run into at a racetrack.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Pretty good chance you're going to run into Dave, though, if you come here.
There you go. Exactly. So we're watching them go side by side right here going into 3. Here comes Carlisle up the inside. Remember, that bike has won here before in the production twins class. Corey Texter was on board. So they know their way around this track.
So I was talking with Tim Estenson about Colby Carlisle. Speaking of not having graduated, Colby didn't graduate from high school right away.
Okay.
Tim gave him a shot and said, keep your grades up, get your high school diploma, I'll keep you racing.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yep.
He did that, and then Colby went to college.
Right.
At Arizona State.
Yep. Moved out to Tempe area. Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
Colby's graduating from college.
Nice. That's awesome.
Isn't that a fantastic story?
And Colby won the first championship for Estenson Racing on the singles class a few years back.
So tip of the cap to Tim Estenson and his wife for, not just racing, but advancing people in their lives through racing and the connections to racing. And then also to Colby for buckling down and getting it all done and setting himself up for his future when he's done with racing.
Ralph, and that's hard because these racers, when you turn 16, you want to go pro, but you're still, in high school. Some of them get homeschooled, and then some of them just stop going to school, period. And so for them to continue his education and for Colby to have the drive to finish that off,
for no other reason than for yourself.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. Because, you're not going to be able to race your whole life. You may be able to stay in the sport, but you won't be able to race a motorcycle professionally for your whole life. So I love that.
And a college education isn't for everybody, and it doesn't mean you're going to be or not be successful, because there's a lot of incredible careers you can have that a college education doesn't have to be there. But it's just great to see that Colby pushed on and achieved.
Very cool. Here comes the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. This is their qualifying effort. The 17 is leading, but here comes the 11, Taya, trying to come up the inside. Those two have won 1 round each so far in the 24 season. They've only ran 2 rounds so far. Kinsey Luker on the 17, Taya right there on the 11. Taya is from Welland, Ontario, Canada. They got an awesome short track. They're going to race up there on June the 1st. Battle at the border.
You calling that?
Possibly. I don't know.
$20?
Working on it. They actually have a track announcer, and the Canadian Flat Track Series announcer will be there as well.
Our name has to do with somewhere in our name has to have $20.
All right.
$20 announcing team.
Well, I like what you say. If you're paying, I'm saying.
That's
I
it,
like,
baby.
I like that. We could kind of dial that into the whole equation. These two are battling already, and this is just qualifying. They're the 24.224 and a 24.225. It doesn't get much closer than that, Ralph.
No, it's not.
And Taya takes over the top spot, and it does change. 24.124 for Taya on the 11. I like the yellow on the leather. She's easy to find out there on the racetrack.
Yeah.
She goes by Kinsey, who slides into second. Shasta LaRue right there in third, 24.687. Michaela Nichols in the fourth spot, number 2. Maya Maffei in 5th on the 28. Morgan Pillar, who missed a round or 2 on the 156. She's from Wisconsin. She's feeling a lot better since she's back at it.
23.9 up there now.
All right. She's got some clear racetrack, and she's starting to pull away just a little bit. You hear them on the rev limiter just a little bit. They may have to go back and take some teeth off that rear sprocket to go a little bit faster, but they might be using that rev limiter to help slow them down into the corners as the white flag comes out from Big P. Lapping the 8 of Christiana Ross. See him bouncing around just a little bit. They do have Scott Baker out there helping them down there in the pit area. That's Brad Baker's brother. It's good to have some former racers in the pit to kind of oversee things and help make suggestions to what the changes that they'll go and make to their motorcycles. So Kinsey was fastest in both rounds of practice, but Taya moves to the top spot here in round 1 of qualifying, 23.902. That is the fastest lap we've seen in the Royal Enfield Build Train Race program.
Pretty strong lap.
Yeah, that's getting going pretty good. One more round of qualifying round 1 of qualifying is up next for the Parts Limited AFT Singles presented by Kicker. hats off to these folks that showed up out here with the threat of weather all in the area. So I'm glad you folks made it out here. And we're going to get some racing in, it looks like.
Come over from the Good Guys show
absolutely.
next door.
We talked to some of those folks last night.
Boy, a bunch of them in town. Some great-looking vehicles, too. That's going on tomorrow as well, so
yeah,
you can go out there tomorrow if you're in the area.
Check that out. They also did a group ticket for over there and tonight, so we appreciate Good Guys Garage going in conjunction with us to help
cross-promoting.
Yeah, get people to come to our races. Also get our racers to go on over there and check out the car show. Singles on the racetrack. First round of qualifying. The one is Cody Kopp, 79 Dalton Gauthier, 59 Tom Drain, 88 Chase Sadoff, 48 Trent Lowe, 19 James Ott got his first career podium right here, 26 Aiden Roos Evans, 82 Travis Pettin, and the 66 Logan Eisenhardt. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. 25 total bikes have made it through tech. 18 will make it into the main event later on tonight. It's good to see Dalton up front this time. He was struggling a little bit through practice. I don't know if they made some changes or they're trying different stuff, but he's looking pretty good now when qualifying counts.
It's good to see Robbie Bobby in the paddock area.
Robbie Bobby.
Mechanic for Dalton.
One of the funniest guys in the pits.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he takes anything serious.
My guy. Got his back.
Here comes Dalton to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make a pass on Cody Kopp. Kopp will slide back in line, so Gauthier goes to the top spot on the racetrack, not on the leaderboard. Tom Drain again, 2:1.322. 59, quickest bike on the track. Now Trent Lowe goes to the top spot, 2:1.307. Kopp goes back by Dalton Gauthier, and he's bringing with him Sadoff on the 88.
So speaking of Cody Kopp, our reigning champion on that number one, obviously a pretty fearless kid to be this fast carrying that number one plate on our singles category. But his girlfriend, he was telling me, Avletha Osgaard, is number one nationally in the unlimited category, or the open category, I should say, of downhill mountain biking for women.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
He goes, I do everything I can to keep up with her. He said if a run down a course would take, let's say, 29 seconds, he goes, I'll be at 30, she'll be at 28.
Wow.
He said she's that strong.
That's impressive. Trent Lowe still at the top spot. Goes even faster last time by. 2:1.286 as the checks fly here in group number one. Trent Lowe, 2:1.286 on the Turner Honda, stepping it up a little bit. If you remember last year when we were in Texas, Turner Hondas were 1, 2, and 3, but that was at a different track.
Yeah, over Devil's Bowl.
Yeah, that's no longer in existence from what we've been told. Look at that. Trent Lowe, the Turner Honda at the top spot. 2 Yamahas. Tom Drain, Aiden Roos Evans is really finding his groove this season. Got his career best finish at Sonoy a couple weeks ago, the 26 bike. Sadoff slides back to 4th. Eisenhardt to 5th. Cody Kopp back in 6th, Ralph. Looked like he was trying a few different things right there, but that's not what we expected. What I do like is first round of practice, it was Sadoff. Second round of practice, it was Drain. First round of qualifying, it's Trent Lowe. So we have 3 different guys fastest at different points in the day so far for the singles class. And here comes group number 2 onto the track. 55 is Raggio, 265 is Renshaw, 75 Santero, 24 Bauer, 63 Jared Lowe, 49 Chad Coast, 288 Vanders, and the 52 Shayna Texter Bauman, the winningest rider in AFT singles history with 19 in her career. The only woman to win in AFT singles class.
Yeah, tremendous rider, and now the pressure for her record is coming from within her own stable.
Yes.
As Cody Kopp is knocking on the door.
Yeah, he's too short. He's up to 17 now. That's Raggio out there kind of doing his own thing. Switched on over to a KTM this season. Was riding Hondas for a while. Doing it for Raggio Racing and Sluggo Racing on the sponsor sheet for the 55. Moved to Illinois, so they kind of moved around a little bit. They're originally from California, raced against his dad some, and they said they get to more races from Illinois than coming from California.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I know it's cost effective to move and live in the Midwest, or stay with somebody. I know a lot of racers used to do that back in the day, and stay, have a central hub and then kind of branch out of there.
Yeah.
And then of course make the West Coast swing and have different people to stay with out there, or hotels or whatever. But I like what they're doing. Putting all the effort into the 55 and That moved to Illinois, and they were in Georgia last year for a little while, now up in Effingham, Illinois. Santero up to 7th, Braden Vanders up to 9th. So Gautier slipping back all the way to 10th now. I know he's in that first group, but he was running up front, but doesn't mean he had fast laps.
No.
You know, but when it's race time, it's a little bit different, but you still want to put in a quick lap.
You're going to have a decent spot to start from, right? And Santero moving up while Gautier is moving down. Santero up to 4th.
Santero from Petaluma, California. Had a hard get off at an Illinois race a couple of weeks ago, and doesn't look like it's slowing him down at all. The 75 bike is caught the 55. The 55 currently 16th quick out of the 17 bikes that have timed in. Now Hunter Bauer from Canada moves up to 4th, the 24 bike. Quickest on the racetrack, 21.417. How about this? Honda at the top spot, then 3 Yamahas, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now.
And look at Santero's bike really bouncing around there.
Well, he
75.
Kind of got up to the back end of the 55 and kind of maybe slowed him down a little bit, so he had to look for a different line.
There's a Speedway track in Petaluma.
Yeah?
Mother Goose Speedway.
Have you called that racetrack yet?
I have called there.
I have not. Trent Lowe at the top spot on the Turner Honda right there, 21.286. Drain, Bruce Evans, Hunter Bauer was just in that group. Chad Coase, he's on a different bike this week. He's on the 49 Honda. That's Chad Coase, and doing it for Lehman Racing.
Back half of the 20 there.
What's that?
A lot of orange in the back half of the top.
Yeah, 20. So it looks like the track's kind of suiting the Hondas and the Yamahas right now. KTMs are on the struggle bus a little bit at the moment. Could change. But it looks like the 49, Chad Coase, was riding for Waters Auto Body earlier. Now he's riding for Lehman Racing. Jacob Lehman actually moved down here to Texas. Former winner at the Peoria TT. And the bike looks like it has some vanilla cycle stickers on it. And Chad Coase just kind of hopping around a little bit. Here comes Group 3, final group, first round of qualifying. Gage Smith out front, the 113. Right behind him, Ian Wolf on the 157. Jordan Jean, 56. Evan Kelleher, 131. 40s, Olin Kistler, 115. Justin Anselmi, 221. Daniel Poole from South Carolina on the 175. TJ Welty, he's a rider that had the hard get off at Sonoy, and actually good to see him back at the racetrack on that 175. He is from Castle Rock, Washington. Sponsored by Wanker's Corner. I like it.
Yeah.
It's different. Here comes the 113 leading the pack, and Selmy was fast in that last round of practice, that 115 closing on these two.
Yeah, he really was.
He's coming towards the front, and he is right now as well. Gage Smith, this is his first race back after completing that road to recovery. Wolf on the 157, Mansfield, Ohio. And Selmy right there on the 115. From Lodi, California, will be there next Friday night. Next Friday night.
Go see the Grand Marshal, Scotty Dubler.
And others.
Hear him.
Yeah. Renshaw goes up to 8th on the 265 Honda, 21.505. So we're watching this battle for the top spot on the track. Wolf trying to come up the inside, the shorter way around. So is your son watching, or is he still watching the draft?
Lucas?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still focused on the draft right now.
He'll tune in after that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Jared Lowe up to 10th on the 63 bike. And here comes Anselmi, gets by the Honda of Gage Smith. Actually, Ian Wolf did as well. So Wolf picks up that spot. Nobody's keeping up with the leaders yet. Smith back down there, 20th. Kistler in 17th. Ian Wolf, the 157, is 18th. And the 115, who got by one rider, catching up to the leader right now. And Selmy is up to 21st. So the top 5, you have Indiana, you have Australia, Illinois, Canada, and California in your top 5 spots, man. They're fast from all over the place.
Yeah, they are.
It's the best of the best here at American Flat Track, and that is it for our first round of qualifying. Is in the books here at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll have another round of qualifying.
Not all roofing contractors are created equally. Trust the commercial and industrial roofing experts at Roof Systems of Dallas. Family owned and operated for over 38 years, Roof Systems provides customizable roofing solutions in a timely manner at an affordable price. Roof Systems are a proud sponsor of the Mission Dallas Half Mile and JCS Racing Super Twins rider Brandon Robinson. Don't put your roof in the hands of just anyone. Choose the professionals at Roof Systems of Dallas.
Is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead.
Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road, check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Royal Enfield returns for the 2024 season, bringing back Build, Train, Race and its 7 new riders, rounding out to be a 10-women roster. Along with the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield, Johnny Lewis and team taking on their 5th season with American Flat Track. After a successful 2023 season of establishing a spot in the premier class, the team is excited to see what is in store for yet again another full season of racing. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of the Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs. VP Racing has been the world leader in race fuel for nearly 50 years. But did you know VP Racing also has a line of premium engine oils, gear oils, brake fluids, coolants, and additives? Find VP at your local auto parts store today or online at vpracingfuels.com.
Welcome back to the dirt track here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Getting ready for more qualifying action with the Progressive American Flat Track Series. And joining us in the booth right now while things are a little quiet on the racetrack, David Hart from here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Great to see you again, David. How's everything with you?
Great to see you too, Ralph. It's great to have the Progressive American Flat Track back here at Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. We've missed you for a few years, and it's a blast to have you guys back here.
Yeah, no, we're happy to get back here to the Lone Star State and certainly in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So what's been going on around here? You guys have a lot going on this weekend. Good guys are here. You got a big swap meet going on.
Yeah, we've got a triple header weekend, if you want to call it that. We've got the AF. We get a weekend off.
And a big part of what you've done is the fan experience. Big Haas over here to the right of our drone shot there. You guys once again expanded that out even more and upgraded that even more.
Yeah, it was in the Guinness Book of World Records when it was opened, when it was put up in 2014. We've actually completely replaced it, made it 10% larger, 20% more pixels. It's just it's more than a half an acre of TV set. And it's we had some talk on social media about taking our scoring pylon down in turn 1, but everything that was on that pylon is right there, even bigger and brighter on Big Hoss.
Just incredible. You guys play many video games on that thing?
Well, from time to time. When there's a slow day. Well, we'll get out there, get our joysticks, and
you show movies too, right?
Yeah, we did that.
Do a lot of that.
We did that for the NASCAR weekend. We had a movie every night, so it was fun. And it's about creating an event. We were talking about that earlier. You can have a great race weekend, great stuff on the track, but you have to have stuff outside of the racetrack in the fan zones and stuff for people to do at night as well. So.
Well, you're going to have a big event here in the fall. Part of the SMX Championship, right? You
yeah,
guys
really
are part of the Final 3.
Really excited about that. We're race 2, playoff race 2 of the Super Motocross World Championship. They're running at Charlotte September the 7th. They're here September the 14th, and they'll go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the finale.
And for here at Texas Motor Speedway, it's going to be right in the Tri-Oval area?
Correct. Yeah, it'll be right there in the Tri-Oval like at Atlanta Motor Speedway a couple of years ago. Same basic thing, and really looking forward to that.
Well, I know you enjoy that Supercross type stuff, so you'll be in heaven with all that, won't you?
Just about anything with 2 wheels on it. I like a whole lot.
Yeah, there's the sign for it, September 14th. Mark that on your calendar if you're in the area or if you like traveling out. Where do they go to get tickets for that?
Go to TexasMotorspeedway.com. Quickest way to do it.
And Andy's frozen custards, they say, from the front of the truck.
It never hurts to have
Andy's a part of the deal, right? There you go. All right.
When we were working on that program, I said I don't care what money you get for it, as long as I've got a freezer in the media center. That's all I care about.
You got it handled. I love it. Okay, that's great. So what else is happening here at Texas Motor Speedway? What are the future plans looking like?
Well, we'll have a NASCAR race here next spring. We moved from the fall last year to the spring this year. Looking forward to have that back. The NASCAR's talking about hopefully getting the schedule out sooner than later. We'll just have to wait and see when that happens, but we're pretty confident we'll stay in the spring and build everything around that. We've got a great concert festival, country music festival we'll have here in October. So it's, we're a racetrack. Racing will always be our core, but we're also in the entertainment business as well. So whatever we can get out here to get the fans out here, we're more than happy to do it.
And that's a big challenge here in the number 4 market in the country.
Number 4 market, yeah. There's a
Dallas Fort Worth.
There's more than a few things to play against, but that's part of the fun of it is to find your niche in it. But the Cowboys here are 24/7, 365. So,
yeah, well, we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, but the Rangers are home this weekend, I saw, and the Mavericks are playing in the playoffs. So you got a lot going on here in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex area, right? Okay, well, thanks for stopping by, David.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I'll say hi to everybody at the Madison Bear Garden for you next week when we get back to Chico. And we're going to go to Kristen right now, who had an opportunity to check out things with the good guys earlier in the weekend.
Brandon, dream classic car. You can have anything on the block. What would it be?
Man, anything. I'd probably choose a Ford GT40. Always been a big fan of the car, and then ever since I watched the Ford versus Ferrari movie, it just really told the story of it and the history of the racing behind that car, and it's just a badass story. And the car is just iconic. I love it, and man, if I could have it, I would absolutely put it in the garage if my wife would let me.
Dream car. What would it be?
I'm not really into the old cars as much. I mean, this is really cool out here at the Good Guys show, but I really like Raptors. I love trucks, and I have a Raptor at home, but the dream truck would be the Raptor R, the new one they've come out with. It's pretty fast.
I have my grandfather's first ever new truck. It's a GMC K10 or C10. It's 69. It has all original miles, 68,000 miles on it. 3 in the floor, does everything I want. I actually drove it 2 years ago to Port Royal to the National. It's something that when I was a little kid, I saw it in the barn, and I was like, man, I want that. And I've been following a lot of these car shows. A good buddy of mine does a lot with the C10s. So to own one is actually pretty cool, and to have it as an all-original straight 6 292 is pretty cool to me, too.
Yeah, I think it's always good anytime you can kind of cross over in motorsports, genres, cars, bikes, different disciplines, whatever the case may be. Everyone's just kind of a gearhead at the end of the day. So
yeah, it's just good to kind of talk shop with people, see different, you know, cars, bikes, whatever the case may be, and it's just good to be around your people in a sense.
You're back. Welcome back. Whatever you were doing outside this time.
Man, I went and checked out the souvenir stand. And
did you buy me something?
Well, I'm debating on what color shirt to get. They're pretty cool. You know, they got gray and they got black, and the Texas half mile right there. It's got Robinson, it's got Bromley, and it's got Dallas Daniels. I got to show Ralph first. All right, here we go. Oops, I don't see here. That's not very. It's a picture of a picture. Oh, there we go. Texas half mile. Yeah, it is hard to see, but. Yeah, so it's there ain't no 43 crashing on that one, but it's yeah, so it's Robinson, it's Bromley, and it's Dallas Daniels. Yeah, the souvenir stand's right there by the front gate.
That looks really cool.
So I just don't know if I should get gray or black. I don't know.
Well, you got a lot of black, right?
I do have a lot of black T-shirts because I sold Harley Davidson stuff for a while, and a lot of those were black.
You've been going to racetracks. That's what you do.
Because everything is black. We're always wearing black.
Yeah.
We're putting our coats on because we're in the ice box in here. It's not because it's that cold outside, but
it's hot basically outside.
It's warm. It's muggy, but we're racing almost. Bikes are rolling out of the racetrack. Final round of qualifying right now. Mission Super Twins. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, he used to be Dale Earnhardt's PR guy.
That is cool.
Children's Racing back in the day. He worked at Furniture Row.
That's awesome.
Been around for a long time.
Coming to check out some flat track races. This is final round of qualifying. The time to beat right now. Uh-oh, left my sheet outside.
Oh, trouble.
Is the 32. No, it was Meese was fastest in the first round. Meese. 2:1.272 is the time to beat. They're going for the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award. They'll put them on the pole of the heat race by having the fastest lap in qualifying. But they're also looking for the FloRacing fastest lap of the day. So it could be both at the same time. There's Robinson. He's talking to one of his mechanics up there in Milwaukee at the Angels of Dirt movie premiere, Slow. And
I got to see that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be at Ventura the night before.
I know, we're going to have to make that happen.
Definitely. But yeah, Slow was saying that Robinson was feeling really confident coming in today. And now we got a new quick time, 2:0.934. Jared Meese has found a little bit more speed on the Indian motorcycle. Here he comes. He's catching up to the 44, who's currently second, by the way. 2:1.323. So that's the fastest lap of the day in either class. 2:0. The first bike in the 22nd range. 2:0.934. The jammer, Jared Meese, is on the prowl. Closing in on the 44. Robinson, they both go up to racetrack just a little bit. Meese tries to go underneath the bottom side. Here they come onto the front straightaway. And Meese drops to the bottom of the racetrack, the shorter way around. You really see that back tire squatting. They got really low air pressure in that number one bike. Trying to get the traction to the ground. Meese goes on by. I don't expect this lap to be a very fast one because he had some traffic, but maybe this next one, this might be the fastest lap of the day if he can lay it down and stay smooth right now. Robinson has the honor to watch Meese and see where he's going faster than him right now as they go into turn number 3 for the final time, final round of qualifying for this group. Here they come off of 4. Checkered flag is out. 2:1.264, so it wasn't quite as fast. He laid down the heater early on. 2:0.934. That might be quick enough to be on the pole for today. 2:0.934. Fastest lap of either class was right there on the one bike. Up next, group number 2. Staging right here off of turn number 2. They'll come out onto the racetrack. They come out according to their order of the points that they're in coming into today. It's round number 4 here this evening. Number 18, Maxwell, will lead them out. 25, Ben Lau on a KTM. 36, Colby Carlisle. 70, Declan Bender. 37 is Bronson Bauman. 107 is Wyatt Vaughn. 166, Logan McGrain. 99, Kevin Stallings. 13, Morgan Mishra on the other Honda. The 47 is Michael Hill. And the 56, Jordan Jean, as we get a shot from the drone right here. Bikes on the track. There is the Flying Tomato. He got that nickname actually at the Devil's Bowl a few years back. his mom said he actually earned his bachelor's degree. How cool is that? That is awesome. He's leading this group, the 36, the Flying Tomato out in front on the G&G Racing Yamaha. That's the little team that could.
Has for a long time, right?
Yeah, they won 2 Production Twins championships with Corey Texter, who decided to move away from flat track and focus on helping his son, the 4th generation of racers in that family. Cruz Texter is who I'm talking about. There's a good shot at Colby, the 36, currently 9th now in this round. And the 25 right behind him, that's Ben Lau, who's back in 19th. This is the second round we're looking at, so they'll combine the times from round 1 and round 2. The fastest 8 will start on the front row of a heat race, because there's 2 heat races in this class. Declan Bender finally getting some laps in. He's down to 12th right now, but he struggled through practice and didn't even complete either practice session. Bender on the Grumpy Old Men Racing Indian, 2:1.722. Johnny Goad, his mechanic. Vandekoy goes up to 6th on the 20 by Captain Chaos, 2:1.449. Here comes Bronson up the inside of the 70 bike, the 37 on the move up to 11th. And Declan comes right back on the inside. Nice comeback for the 70 bike.
It's one of those tracks tonight where it's going to be a little bit of mind over matter, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to forget.
You have to force yourself to feel confident.
Yeah, feel confident. And then, you know, like I was telling Kristen before you came in, you got to race this racetrack. You know, as much as you're racing against everybody else, you have to really focus on the track and hitting your marks and missing certain spots on the racetrack as you figure out the fastest way around. Bender jumps up to 7th on that go round right there with a 2:1.507, so that's his quickest lap of the day. That's going to be it for our qualifying for the Mission Super Twins. Up next, the final qualifying session for the Royal Enfields, I believe. We'll double check that. Actually, it's going to be their heat race. Royal Enfields have their heat race up next. Their main event will be a little bit later on. Let me just double check that one more time. Nope, it is their second qualifying session. Okay. They do have two qualifying sessions. Sometimes they run the heat race early in the program and then just the main event later on. So this is actually their qualifier, their final qualifying session for the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. 9 ladies making it here. And they're all in line, coming off of turn number 4, getting up to full song. Here they come. 17, Kinsey Luke. Here comes Shasta LaRue on the 67. I love that 67 font. It looks like Bubba Schobert, who's from Lubbock, Texas. It looks like almost a similar font as either him or Mike Hacker. You know, it's pretty close to the 67. Kinsey Luke out front, the 17. Ooh, hanging on to it. Gets into that bump over there in turn number 4. Doesn't seem to slow her down at all. Taya Little right there behind her on the 11. Hannah Robertson's on the 22. Maya Maffei on the 28. Hannah Lang on the 35. Morgan Pillar on the 156. Christiana Ross on the number 8. Those are the ladies on the racetrack. A couple of them hit the rev limiter right there. You can hear it. That's wanted right before you let off and go in the corner to help slow you down. These are INT 650s, and the ladies can do a few different things to them to make it look like their style, their colors, their font of the numbers, the colored leathers, and all that stuff. And they can go out there and get their own sponsorship, too. Taya goes a little bit faster, 2:4.201. Shasta's up to 2nd, the 67, 2:4.265. So Fasta Shasta is on the move. Michaela Nichols up to 4th. Maya Maffei is in 5th. And the Wisconsin girls back there in 6th and 7th, Morgan and Hannah. Here comes the 11. Shasta's closing on the leaders. Here she comes.
I thought Tay was going to get that move made coming off the 2 there.
I think maybe if it was a race, she probably would have stuck it on through there, but since it's just qualifying, she elected not to, possibly.
Here she comes.
White flag is out.
It's done there.
Tay goes to the top spot on the racetrack. She's also at the top spot of the leaderboard. There's Shasta on the 67 at the pink hair flying out the back of the helmet to match her wheels and her leathers. Checkered flag should be out this time by. There it is for the 11. Tay a little 24.072. The fastest lap was the last one right there. For the 17, 24.072. So it slowed down just a little bit for the Royal Enfield ladies.
She's got a minute, 0.2 of a second on Shasta and
Kinsey.
more after that.
Yeah.
Good lap.
That's it for qualifying for the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. We have 3 groups left of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Opening ceremony shortly after that. Then we'll get into our qualifying heat races here at Texas Motor Speedway. Parts Limited AFT Singles presented by Kicker is rolling out next. 3 groups, 25 total riders in the singles class. The fastest 18 will make it into a main event. Here comes Cody Kopp on the 1. Dalton Gauthier, 79. Tom Drain, 59. Chase Sadoff, 88. Trent Lowe's on the 48. James Ott, 19. Aiden Roosevans, 26. Travis Betton is number 82. And Logan Eisenhard, number 66. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. The time to beat, 21.286. That is Trent Lowe. See if anybody can go faster than that. Sadoff in the lead down here in turn number 3 and 4. The suspension guy did not make it down here, so Mom's actually been videoing early on, getting a little different angle, and they're watching here on FloRacing, and then they're making phone calls from the suspension guy, Troy, down to the pit area to make changes onto that motorcycle. So, you know, worst case scenario, if you can't get the whole crew here, you do it the old-fashioned way. Use a cell phone and text message whoever's down there in the pits and make the changes.
Whatever you got to do, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes modern technology allows you to do a lot of different things that way.
Yeah, like NASCAR has the war room in Charlotte that most of the teams are watching and keeping track of the telemetry. They can actually help make suggestions, right?
Oh, yeah.
21.212 for Tom Drain to the top spot.
Formula One guys were crazy with all that stuff. At one point, they had it set up where they could watch the car on the computers in, say, England, and the car's racing in Japan, and they could make a few taps on the keyboard in England, and it would send signals all the way to Japan and change how the engine was running.
Wow. That's incredible. Tom Drain, that is the fastest lap of the day in the singles class, 21.212. Trent Lowe was fastest in the first round, 21.286. So they're pretty close. And now Trent goes to second, 21.416, so 2/10 slower right now. Roosevans up to third. He's still looking for his first career podium in this class. Sadoff is fourth. Dalton is fifth. The white flag is out. That means one more left to go in Group 1 of our final round of qualifying. Sadoff is now third, 21.411 last time by. Lowe is second. Drain still at the top spot. Drain from Forbes, Australia. Second full season with us here in Progressive American Flat Track. There's Gauthier. I had Gauthier running, a top 3 position right now. He's on the struggle bus just a little bit, currently sitting back there in 7th. I mean, I'd be happy with...
Cody Kopp at one point was all the way down in 11th.
That's true. So he's up to fourth, 21.417, so just 2/10 off the top spot. So they'll go back there, make some changes, and get ready to go for their qualifying heat races. Group 2 is up next.
Lights are on around the Speedway here, too, and that's not necessarily because of the weather. It's 7 o'clock out here, so it's starting to get into the
sun's starting to set.
Evening, yeah.
Drain, Sadoff, Lowe, Kopp, and Roosevans, your top 5 after Group 1, Round 2. Group 2 is on the racetrack right now. Here they come, getting up to full song. 55 is Raggio, 265 Renshaw, 75 Santero, 24 is Bauer, 63 Jared Lowe, 49 Chad Coast, 288 Braden Vanders, and the 52 Shayna Texter Bauman.
And a lot of that orange that creeped back into the top 10 of that last session. Let's see if the red guys now can kick them back out.
Or the blue guys.
Or the blue guys.
So we had a bunch of Yamahas up there early on.
We did. Still do, top of the board.
There's the 75 Terrence Santero. There is the rookie Evan Renshaw and another rookie Braden Fanders right there, 3-digit numbers. And there is Shayna Texter Bauman, all three of them from Pennsylvania. Look like Fanders had trouble getting off of turn number 2. Kind of almost looked like he's picking up the front wheel a little bit, like he's probably frustrated with himself, made a little mistake in turn number 2, let the 265 sneak away from him. 265 has those unique leathers out here today for the Turner Racing Honda with the Mission Foods on the front. As Ralph said, the golden color, golden yellow.
Golden yellow, yeah.
Golden yellow, we'll go with that. Sadoff is second. Low. Hunter Bauer takes his Yamaha up to 4th. Slide Kopp back to 5th. There's Renshaw. He moves up to the 3rd position. The 265, he's got clear racetrack in front of him.
Yeah, he jumped up a bunch with that lap.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good right now. I don't know what changes they made to the motorcycle. You can see that back tire really squatting, going in the corner, trying to get the most traction you can get. Renshaw comes in off of turn number 4. Back onto the front straightaway. 21.37 was the last time by. Actually, this last time, 21.571, so not quite as quick.
So Cody's already been kicked back 2 spots.
Wow, yeah, because Bauer moved up to the 5th spot.
Yep.
White flag is out already. Group number 2. The time to beat 21.212. Does Renshaw have anything left on that 265 Turner Honda? He's around the very bottom of the racetrack, which makes sense, Ralph, on the 450s, the singles class, the shorter way around, sometimes the faster way.
Yeah. Carrying a lot of speed through 3 and 4.
He's kind of bobbling. Yeah, bobbling a little bit in turn 4, though. 1.8.
He got a little slower.
Yeah, he kind of made a few little bobbles down there in 3 and 4. As you can see the marbles here on the front straightaway kicking up when they get right by the wall.
But he's up in the front row.
That's good. And I mean, he'll be on the front row of a heat race. I'm sure they'll combine the times from earlier, though. Drain to the top spot, 21.212. Can anybody in this 3rd group take that spot away? I don't know. This is, they come out according to their point settings. They don't have any points. They're down here in this final group. 157 Ian Wolf is out there. 56 Jordan Jean. 131 Evan Kelleher. Gage Smith, the 113. 40 Olin Kistler. Justin Anselmi, 115. Daniel Poole, 221. And TJ Welty on the 175. Final group of qualifying right here today. Here they come, getting up to full speed. That's Ian Wolf right there with Anselmi on the back tire. If Justin Anselmi gets some clear racetrack, maybe he could lay down a heater. He's been fast in each of the last few rounds, but he's been in traffic. He had somebody right in front of him. Once again, it's Ian Wolf this time. If Anselmi can get by the 157, maybe we'll see a really quick lap. He's got the door open right there. He's trying to come through. Anselmi from Lodi, California. Maybe racing out there at the Lodi Cycle Bowl. Same color dirt.
Here he comes.
Yep. Oh, might have to apply the pressure a little bit. Here he comes up the inside. And he takes the spot away. Now he's got some clear racetrack. What can the 115 do? Justin Anselmi's on the move towards the front. Now he's got clean air. Nobody's in front of him. Let's check in with Kristen Beach. She's over there where they enter the racetrack. Kristen, how goes it over there?
Scotty, a lot of question marks leading into this race tonight, but a lot of the riders have told me the track is actually getting better, and that is something that I am looking forward to following.
Yeah, I agree, Kristen. It's getting a lot faster. It's gone, from a 21.8 to a 20.9 in the Super Twins class, from a 21.8 to a 21.2 here in the singles class. So it's picking up by about a half a second so far as the day goes on. Anselmi's out in front with the clear racetrack, moves up to 15th for the 115, 21.851. Still about a half a second off of the leader. Anselmi at the front of the pack out here, 115. Ian Wolf trying to keep him honest. The 157 is 21st. Last group of qualifying here at Texas Motor Speedway. Justin Anselmi leading the way, 115. And for Team TDR, Unsettled Racing. And Michael Hill Racing actually helping out too. There is the checkered flag. So that is going to be it for qualifying out here today. Sweet sound as they go across the start-finish line. So it's going to be Tom Drain fastest here in this second round with a 2:1.212. Qualifying is in the books out here at Texas. They'll combine the times and get ready for our qualifying heat races. Opening ceremonies will be the next thing on the docket out here. You got time right now to stretch your legs, grab yourself that event t-shirt. They got a couple of different choices out there. They got them in black or gray, three bikes on the front as we look through the rest of the qualifying order from round number 2 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Opening ceremonies is up next, and we get into our qualifying heat races. After the qualifying heat races, we will have our last chance qualifiers for the singles and the super twins. Then we'll have our challenge races and then our 3 main events. So qualifying is all in the books. First half of the